Well, I will guide us through some of our centering, if you guys are ready. Okay, so I invite everyone to begin to center and ground and tune inwards. Maybe you'd like to close your eyes, slow down and deepen your breathing. I like to go deep inhale through the nose, hold at the top, exhale through the mouth, hold at the bottom, and then inhale again through the nose, box breathing. Just do that for a few rounds. It's an inhale through the nose, a hold, an exhale through the mouth, a hold. And while we're breathing and slowing down, I'm going to read today's inspiration. Listen with curiosity. Speak with honesty. Act with integrity. The greatest problem with communication is we don't listen to understand. We listen to reply. When we listen with curiosity, we don't listen with the intent to reply. We listen for what's behind the words. Roy Bennett. Maybe take one more round of breaths, breathing into that. And when you've finished your round, you can begin to bring some movement to your body. I like to shake my neck and shoulders around a bit, maybe wiggling the fingers and toes, stretching the arms around our bubble. Okay, feeling the ground. And when you're ready, we can open our eyes and begin to connect with one another. Hey guys. And we can do our check-ins. So how are you feeling? What's most alive? And if you have any intentions or distractions for today. I can get us started. I am feeling now super grounded after that check-in, after centering. I was frazzled just a moment ago, dealing with visa stuff. I don't have any distractions. Well, the only distraction I have is I have an amazing cleaning lady over here, and she's leaving in 25 minutes. So I need to make sure she's paid before she goes. So I might have to pop out for just a quick second at some point. Otherwise, no distractions. And yeah, just looking forward to leading a efficient call and getting through all of the requests that we had for our agenda today. That's my intention. Run through agenda. Okay. And I will pass it to Ashley.
Hey guys, thanks Boris. I'm feeling pretty good today. It feels nice. I feel like I'm kind of like buttoning up some of the last things to like finish some tasks that have been going on for a while, so that feels good. And had a kind of distracting day yesterday, but the only distractions I have today are that Mambo's cooking dinner or lunch, and I'm really excited because I'm hungry. And yeah, with that, I can pass it to Mitch.
Hello, everyone. No distractions today. I'm feeling pretty good. Today has been a lot of memes. Same with yesterday. Been doing a lot of memeing, so that's been a nice like break of pace, just to like stop and like focus on trying to be funny, I guess, and think about how we want to convey our messages. So that's it. I'll pass it to Lauren.
Hey guys. Oh, it's Griff. I was
I
was really hoping you would pass it to like unfaced fellow spacer.
Yeah, I was like,
it was just like first it was just blurry, and then it like has no name,
and then we got like a bird's eye.
Yeah. Identify yourself.
It's just the ceiling. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, hey guys. I'm doing fine. Yeah, this week I felt pretty good. Like Ashley was saying, I'm feeling like we're really good with this like migration of the wiki thing, which feels like it's been looming for a while. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, and other things, but I guess we'll get into it. I'm doing fine. I'm excited because Griff is coming tomorrow. I can't wait. So everything is clean. I've been a little bit distracted. Not really. Yesterday, though, I was distracted by trying to like make things nice. Today, I am pretty much here and focused. And yeah, happy to get into comps, and I'll pass it to Griff.
I am super distracted, scrambling, cleaning the kitchen, and trying to get out of this Airbnb before the next person checks in. But I figured I can listen in while you guys are working, and if there's something comes up, I can pop in. That's my intention for the call. But expect me to be super distracted. Sorry. And I'm super obviously excited to get to Costa Rica and be with everyone except for Mitch.
That was so perfect too. That felt like a 80s sitcom. Like Mitch.
Bring it up again.
Okay, I'll pass it to you, Forrest.
Awesome, thank you. We're so excited to have you. Awesome. And I can just like feel that so much. I have totally been there with the Airbnb thing before. Okay, agenda requests. So I think the first one, we've all been definitely working on our individual wiki to docs migration and also editing one another's, lots of comments going on in GitHub and the channel and stuff. So let's talk about that point first. And the question, there are a few questions here. One is, should we outline primary and secondary goals or simply goals? I believe since this agenda request was put in, we've kind of decided through the poll that it would just be goals, right? Yeah.
I think so too. Ashley got on board eventually too.
Yeah, definitely.
So we only have goals.
Cool. And then the next is to discuss the organizational structure of the docs and where we want to put the circle's goals. So,
oh yeah, I guess this is just like one simple question. So in the old structure, they had like all of the goals at one spot. It was like, I think it was called goals. It was under about the Giveth DAC, and then it had a section called goals, which was all the goals. Now I'm wondering if maybe it's redundant. We shouldn't have it in two places. I sort of just wanted to know what you guys think. Like, should we just have it at the beginning intro of each circle, or should we have it double?
I like
double meaning. Sorry, go ahead, Ashley.
I like having it like when we were reviewing the About Us page kind of thing the other day, like the mission, vision, values. It also goes along with that. So I think having the goals there is really nice, and then separating it out in each section, because maybe somebody links to the docs from a place that just takes them to that circle, and then they wouldn't necessarily see the goals of that circle if they navigated past the About Us part. That's my.
Can I just screen share something for a sec?
Yeah.
Because then maybe this will help us visualize it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is just like a quick mock-up of like kind of taking what we were discussing and just throwing in some filler stuff into the Google Docs, and then seeing what it would look like. So this isn't how it is right now, I think. But then here, the what is giveth, we would have our circles there. And so literally you can just have one that just says goals.
Uh-huh.
And then it would
That's
just
nice
be
and easy.
its own separate page that people could link to directly, but it would still be referenced within the circle.
That's cool. So under each circle, you have each circle's goals, but it's under the tab.
Yeah, so each circle is going to be its own nested column on the sidebar there. And then we can go into governance, and then we have every document that we want to talk about governance, and then we can have goals included in that as a separate page.
I think it's nice to have it in the intro to each circle.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, like just not even having subtabs, but just having governance, communications, whatever, and then what we want to put all on one page.
Just one document then.
I think so. I mean, it doesn't feel like we have enough that we're sharing about each individual circle that really warrants like multiple pages.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, there's definitely
What do you guys think?
Oh, you can
Like,
hear me. Sorry.
Go ahead, Ashley.
There's definitely a couple that, like under depth development, we're going to need more than just like the intro. You know, there's like the product definition, there's the documentation and tutorial. So there are some circles.
Well, that's going to go, because DApp development is going to go under these two headings, right? So you've got Giveth.io, which is going to have user guides, documentation, then Giveth trace, right? Because there's so much there that like this is really going to be the bulk of our documentation is in these two here.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And then DApp development would just be like, I think Lauren wrote something like intro to DApp development, and then like, oh, check out our documentation for this platform or the other platform. And then it would link those things internally.
I think that's cool. I kind of like it. I think it's easy and clear. And then so under what is giveth, we have each of the goals sections that are responding to each of the corresponding circles. And then like whatever other information that was also there, like about like how to join wherever on the Discord. But are there any other, yeah.
There's definitely more documents under the governance circle in the original wiki.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's just...
Yeah, I'm looking
but is it something that we want to include, you know? Because, for example, when I was going through my section, I found out that a bunch of it was like not even relevant anymore.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really dive too far in the governance one. I thought, has Danny gotten back to us about anything in the governance section?
Oh, actually, Forrest was working on the governance section, but if you remember when we first talked about it, under governance, there's intro to Giveth governance, job openings, documentation and tutorials, and unicorn DAC. But we talked about not putting in the unicorn DAC stuff because it's not really active. And documents, yeah, the documentation for governance here is like contributor's guide, code of conduct, advice processes. Yeah. I don't know. Forrest, you've been working on this section, right? Like, what's your, what are your 2 cents about the governance section?
I'm sorry, I was just a little bit distracted for a moment. The question is about how we're structuring the governance section.
Yeah, so like on the original wiki, the governance section has intro, job openings, documentation and tutorials, and the unicorn DAC. And I know you're working on the governance section. Did you look also into the documentation and tutorial stuff?
I have, but I haven't. I trust your judgment. She does 15. Yeah, sorry. This is the moment when I needed to take care of the cleaning thing.
Man, there's so much there.
There's a lot there.
And
That's hard to hear you, Forrest. I think we lost her. Yeah, there's a lot there, and I don't think that we should really get rid of all of it, especially since, like, we were talking with Wonka about having and incorporating gravity, and then, like, maybe getting some people trained in gravity. I think it would be really nice if we're going to be using gravity, then this would be, like, also a good place to be putting that information, because I don't know if, like, gravity wouldn't be its own sub-tab, so it would be under what is giveth and then maybe under governance. So I think, like, having a little bit more of a expandable and collapsible tree structure for like each of the sections, but they can still go under what is Giveth. Or we could call it something other than what is Giveth. We could call it like
like you can change whatever you want
Daco or
there.
whatever.
Yeah, but then it's just like, okay, what do we want as document, or what do we want as like nested in the sidebar? You know, and we can even nest things within these nested bars.
I think my proposal for what is Giveth should be, we have the first section, which is like all the intro welcoming stuff, mission, vision, values that I wrote, and then we have the circles, and those are the main headers. There's the first one's what is Giveth, the second one is like you have it exactly like you have it, but under each of these, like under governance, then we also have like the tree, and under the tree there's like gravity documentation, and then there's like whatever else. Contributors guide.
But a lot of this stuff, I think that sounds really good, and that's super easy to do. That'll be no problem for setting that up. The thing is like we have all this old documentation, and they're good ideas, but do we use them anymore? You know, like maybe conflict resolution is going to be different with gravity, and until that happens, like we're just porting over documentation that we're not necessarily utilizing.
Yeah, I don't think we should port it over until we rewrite it and it looks good for our current situation.
Do we use the advice process right now? Do we have a conflict, like a robust conflict resolution system anymore? You know?
Yeah.
We will definitely want to always be sticking with advice process.
Okay.
That will always be that's just, without advice process, you can't really be flat. I mean, that's with the when I was watching the Dev 2 call, it's like, we weren't using advice process for a lot of things.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess porting over this documentation then ultimately leads to just like a bigger discussion, right?
Totally.
But I guess just going back to that first layout, I think that shouldn't be a problem then.
Yeah, I agree. I think that as far as like the discussion on the tree structure goes, like we can still just mostly mirror the wiki under the what is Giveth section, and then we have the extra tabs of Giveth.io and Giveth Trace, which include like the developer guides and the user guides. And under the DApp development section here, maybe we can just have like the intro stuff and the contributors guides. What do you think?
Yeah, it's nice that we can have those tabs up at the top. That's one advantage we have over the other wiki.
Right.
With the DApp development, what were you saying, Lauren?
We could put like a contributor guide, like how to get involved and how to start. I don't know.
Yeah, but that could go right into this document here. And like that's not the final one, obviously, but like there's just like, instead of DApp development being a nested list of more documents, it's just a flat one document, has like intro to DApp development, and then a header that just says like where to contribute.
Yeah.
Or you can just make a separate document that just is just basically links of how to contribute.
Well, there's a contributor's guide on the old wiki, which shows like how to join, how to discuss your tasks, how to preview your work, how to get rewarded. It's a whole page.
A whole thing.
It's actually under the governance section.
Ah, okay. I see what you mean.
I don't know. Anyway, I think that, for the next steps on this, I think it seems like we got all of the intro-y, goals-y things done, and most of us have like done our individual beginning respective sections, and then like what seems to be remaining to be tackled is looking at advice process, code of conduct, conflict resolution, and maybe we should split the stuff up and make it happen. What do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm getting started on the community circle stuff. I just kind of wanted to maybe get some creative like brainstorming with you guys about it, because I was talking with Danny and she said that it's kind of like what social coding used to be. So if you look under there, under the intro page for social coding, I think that I can use a lot of that for our community circle, and then maybe just expand a little bit and make it more geared towards not just developers and coding, but more so like community and bringing together the givers and the makers, and also like the things that we're doing in our surrounding communities with like the galaxy. Go into a little bit more of that, but I just kind of wanted to talk with you guys first and get some brainstorming and see if there should be any other things under community besides just the intro. Like, did we want to include another section?
So around community and kind of contributors, we're also going to have, really soon we're going to have a one hive model where there's conviction voting. People can make proposals and request funding from our DAO and give tokens. I don't think
Do you think that goes more under governance or more under community?
Well, I think it goes for at least for contributors. How do contributors get paid? And like, I don't know. It's just gonna be. We're gonna need to do. To me, it's around community, because it's like, hey, community, like, please propose things to our DAO. How can you make Giveth better? And the cool thing with conviction voting is it can be like, hey, I want to do this thing. It costs like $1,000 and it will make Giveth better. Or are we going to be funding charities with our conviction voting now?
Yeah.
Like.
But in the short term of just like moving this documentation over, what's the answer on that?
Most of it's just really old, honestly. In some ways, I think less is more. You can always have a link to are we deleting it, or are we just, will it be there?
It'll still be there.
So, I mean, I think you can say, hey, ancient history over here. But in my opinion, less is more, because like people, the more you have, the more stuff people have to read. Like if there's a doubt of whether or not this is relevant, I'd err on the side of not including it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this wiki is a beast, man. It's so much stuff, and it's like sometimes it's even intimidating to scroll through.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Think of how engaged you are.
I know. Nobody's reading it.
Yeah, it's perfect to start out with some sort of like MVP version of the docs, and we can always add more, update things in the future. But it's nice to at least just get a clean slate and start fresh where we're at now.
So just, since you hear Griff, so under the governance thing, the contributors guide isn't really going to be relevant anymore, but we need to include the advice process. There's also a code of conduct, which I guess we should include, which is kind of like the covenant thing. And conflict resolution and tools for DACs. So that's and a recording meetings guide. I mean, those are the sub tabs. I just want to know what is not relevant for sure.
Sorry, to which ones, Lauren?
Well, so under the governance, just because I'm thinking now that we've done really actually most of the sections, the ones that are missing from the ones we originally agreed to are ones that Danny and Kai have to do. And Ashley's still working on the community thing, which we should brainstorm on. But then there's the remaining sections under governance, contributors guide, governance and meetings, code of conduct, advice process, conflict resolution, tools for DACs, and a recording meetings guide. So should we still kind of split up I think some of these are still relevant. Like Griff was saying, we need to include the advice process. I've never even read the advice process. So let's make sure we put it in there. And I just want to know what you guys think we should keep and not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that your idea about the covenant, maybe we'll insert the covenant into the code of conduct or have that included somehow.
Yeah.
So I know that the current code of conduct page is super relevant. Let me look at it.
It looks kind of standard.
Yeah, it seems kind of standard. It's
Yeah, definitely. I think
it's a good idea to
even
put
at
in
the
our
bottom,
covenant.
it says contributor covenant.
So maybe the only one we're not bringing over is the
Oh, you're muted,
contributor's
Lauren.
guide. What?
You're muted. We can't hear you.
Alright. Well, then I think maybe the only one we're not going to do is the contributor's guide for now, because it's going to be affected by the implementation of gardens.
And
maybe not tool. What is tools for DAX? Oh, I don't think we
it
need
looks like, yeah, I don't think we need it. It's kind of like just pointing to where we do all our stuff.
Right.
Recording meetings.
I can do that.
Yeah, that's
I can make a
easy.
guide.
You have the knowledge.
Okay, how about, can we just claim them quickly now? So contributor's guide is a no.
Right.
Governance of meetings.
I mean, I can take a look at it.
Yeah, I'm here. I can take that one.
That seems like a
Okay.
good place for Forrest. Yeah, Forrest is
Perfect.
crushing the governance of meetings. Code of conduct, I'll do because I did the covenant thing, so I can just combine the two things. Advice process.
I mean, I can take it. I can talk to Juan and like see if we can work this around something that seems like gravity or.
Well, there's one right
That's-
underneath that.
Or,
that
sorry, I'm
is,
talking. Yeah, sorry, I
conflict
got mixed up there,
resolution.
Lauren.
We can maybe put those two kind of together: advice process and conflict resolution.
Yep, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
You want to
That
do that,
makes
Mitch?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, and then Ashley, can you be our tools for DAX? I don't even know what this is actually.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll figure it out.
Okay, and I will do the recording meetings guide. So we got our
And then-
tasks.
And then what do you guys think about around the community circle idea? Like, just do something small for now, and then as we grow a little bit more and define things, we'll add in, like, because there's so much relying on, like, you know, the conviction voting and like that kind of stuff coming up that we're not really.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of change.
Start small, and if we decide that we need more, it's super easy to add.
I agree.
But rather
Okay.
than, go ahead, Lauren.
Yeah, no, I think if you just did like we were talking about with DApp development, we're just going to have mostly the intro and goals. Like, just make an intro and goals, and then
Okay.
and then we
That sounds
put
good.
that in, and then that's our circle for now.
Yeah. And you think like our community, as far as like our community of developers, our community between like givers and makers, in our community, like partnerships with other communities outside of like the Galaxy thing. Yeah. Like the three main kind of. Okay.
Yeah, totally. I think that's perfect because it's like 3 tiers.
Yeah, maybe you could highlight our partners.
Yeah, definitely. They are actually in that document. There's a couple of them. And I was thinking of maybe even saying something about like regenerative commons around Panvala and, you know, just like maybe a small portion, not a huge like section, but just mention it within the document.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
I think
cool.
that's great.
Jinx. Okay.
Awesome. Are there any other sections we're unclear about that we want to kind of structure or like reassign?
No, but I do want to let you know that the Discord guide is really close. It's like so close to being done. It was such a bigger task than I originally thought it would be. But it's so good, and our Discord is improved as well. So, yay!
Thanks so much, Ashley. The
Nice.
Discord improvements are amazing.
Hooray!
Praise.
Praise.
Okay. Awesome. So then the next bullet we have, and I don't know that it was an agenda request so much as I think, Lauren, you mentioned it in the comms channel, and I thought to just kind of paste it in here around the Give token launch content, and you shared this like Gitcoin quadratic lands link about we should make something like this for the Give launch. So I thought I would put that here in case it's something we wanted to talk about and discuss and like put into action.
I think that what they did was so cool. I love the yeah, it was like a movie or like a cinematic in a video game. It was like so cool and made you feel so excited about the token. And I also think the way that I mean, hey, yeah, since we're speaking of Give token stuff and all these things are related, I'm writing like the airdrop announcement for givebacks right now, and I've been trying to make it like, well, I mean, more detailed, like kind of like the Uniswap one, but I find the Uniswap one just like, it's not very digestible, but like for Gitcoin, it was like a little bit more comprehensive, sort of more essay style, and I loved it. So I don't know what you guys think. Have you guys read both of those airdrop announcements?
I haven't read the Uniswap one.
I'll send you.
I read the Uniswap, but not the Bitcoin one.
Oh, I'll send you.
Can you ping links to them in the chat?
I will, and then we don't have to talk about it right now, but you guys could also let me know later. I will put links in the chat right now. But I think that it would be amazing if we could do something more exhaustive. I know Marco was saying like we should do some kind of like design stuff for the Give token launch, but maybe this is some conversation we need to have as well with him.
And the other piece of communication, the other piece around communication for givebacks is how givebacks work. You might have been kind of like filling that in as we go. There's still a couple gaps in there, and it's something that's probably not going to be completely ready until the time has come and we know all the details in between. But I've been steadily kind of like hacking at it and changing the language. So it's still being worked on, and when it's time to actually launch, we'll have all the clear details of what goes on.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome. And Lauren, when would you like feedback on our route preference of like the Uniswap versus the Gitcoin announcements, since it sounds like you're writing that right now?
Yeah, I'm writing it right now, but also like as I'm writing it, I'm realizing there's still things that like we don't know. I mean, kind of like not many big things, but like the liquidity provider thing. Plus, I'm also just running into like I can't find the right numbers. Like the numbers are inconsistent, and it's going to take a while to like finish writing it, but I think I still have time. So anyway, if you just like take a look at them and you're like, these are my feedbacks and this is how I interpreted these things, then you can just let me know whenever, but it's no hustle.
And this Uniswap thing goes into the liquidity mining and all that.
Yeah, it goes into like...
There's like a bit more there to digest.
There is a lot, yeah. And there's like screenshots and they show exactly how to do it. And I mean, it's...
Yeah. And how much are we saying with this airdrop?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think, well, like Willie had said in a number of meetings that he really likes the Uniswap article. He wants to kind of something like this for when we launch givebacks. I guess something that's like more of like a guide and explains all of the things. So I've been like breaking it down into explaining a little bit about givebacks, explaining a little bit about gardens, explaining a little bit about like liquidity providing, which we don't have that like already sorted out yet. And then breaking down like who got tokens and in what amount. And that's where I'm at so far.
Wow, that's a beast.
I know. I spent like all morning just trying to write this article, and then I like just had so many questions that led to more questions.
I'm curious, like, do you know, Lauren, have we actually decided the final numbers of like tokens that will be distributed, or are we just putting in placeholders for now?
I think for like maybe not, we haven't, I think, decided the final numbers for everything, but as far as like the airdrop goes, we have decided the numbers. Like the airdrop list is supposed to be like finalized like very soon. Bowen was saying like today. And so we're airdropping like 15 million tokens to our peoples. And so like I'm kind of really just breaking that number down. Like all the other numbers are like subject to a little bit of change later, but the initial amounts I think are going to be hammered down. Like the initial.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, Bowen just had a couple of like small edge cases and like funky things that he's working through. But he said like any moment or day now, he'll be complete with that. But yeah, like 98% of it is complete.
Yay!
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 Yeah.
Yeah, and I reached out like to Calvin and also to Sean Ray to see if either of them would like help me make a video. Because wouldn't it be cool if we had like a video about launching the Give token, or I don't know.
It would be so cool.
It
The
would be
Uniswap
so
video was so cool. Or I mean, the Gitcoin video was so cool.
It was so cool, yeah. But yeah, Calvin isn't really wanting to take on more work or any work, and Sean I think has just like less experience, but would maybe help us. But I don't know if you guys know other smart video editing people and like would want to, like, we could just like extend our feelers out a little bit and see if we could get a little bit of like support in doing something.
I might know somebody. I'll reach out to my friend and see if that's something he's familiar with.
Cool.
Griff, do you know anybody that makes kick-ass videos?
I actually just didn't hear what you guys were talking about, so I wanted to show my face so that you knew that I was back.
We were talking about the awesome Bitcoin video that they made for the airdrop, and maybe making something like that for givebacks, and who we know that could help in that area of creating kick-ass videos.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that's really easy to interview for in a way, right? Like, find people who make great videos and then commission their work. So in some ways I would say, hey, let's just start the outreach and put it on, we can start pushing it through Hannah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, cool.
I can also work on, or I can work on, if any of you want to help me, we could make like a little like script, or because this is something that, you know, Calvin was like, video editors need this. And we just like make kind of like an overview of like what we want to see and in the structure, and then we just need the person who has the skills and the tool to like just put it together. But once we like tell the story and like hand it, then yeah.
Yeah, we can do both in tandem, right? We can start looking for the person and make the script. I do think that there's value in waiting. Like, I don't feel like we fully align on a simple mission, vision, and values. Like, I'm really excited to, like, the short-term mission. Like, are we decentralizing 501c3? Like, are we? What is Giveth's? You know, like, what's our simple rallying call? You know, I feel like there's still a little bit of work on that higher level vision to make sure that we're all like on it, which you've already started with the mission, vision, value doc. And that's kind of a prereq for a lot of the content that you guys want to write, so that we can all be aligned, pointing everyone to the same like meme.
Mm-hmm.
I think, but I mean, I think it's there. We just haven't like said, oh yes, we are all here and we all agree that is what we're doing, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
What's the best way to get that agreement from everybody?
The mission, vision, values, and have a short-term mission as part of it.
yeah.
And like, and how do we meme it?
I think what is coming out for me and working on this stuff, and what it seems like is like there's two parts to it, and one is just like making it easy for funds to flow to like where they have the most impact, and then the other part is like incentivizing donations. So like therefore like encouraging more people to put funds into the stream that easily flows to like where it changes the world.
Yeah, and I mean, incentivizing donations, that doesn't really sound that great, those words, right? So like, I mean, not that it's bad, I agree completely, but I would say like decentralizing government, the industrial nonprofit complex, something like that, you know, like the governments are the only ones who get to say what projects deserve, you know, discounts on donations, subsidized donations, you know, like let's take out the governments. I don't know what path we want to go with it, but I think that's like where we start with this new campaign, you know? And then once that's easy, then all the other content will just be so much smoother to create. And so the mission, vision, values doc that you have going, that's like, I feel like that's the first thing before we start getting ahead of ourselves in some of the other content.
Well, and I think in the deployment spec, Willie added some stuff with the givebacks and everything, and like the goals of the actual givebacks program. I think there's some documentation in there too that could help.
Mm-hmm. But what's that one paragraph that we all agree on? You know, it's like, yeah, that's what we're doing. Everything is about this one paragraph.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to take more refinement and more community input.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
This is kind of the thing that I mean, we wrote the mission, vision, values, and like everyone in. Well, I mean, I don't know if you read it, Griff, but like Ashley Forrest and Mitch and I, we all like went through it and like we were all like, "This is good," and then I like sent it out to everybody else, and like nobody else really said anything. So, like...
Yeah, I think it's one of those like, okay, yeah, it's presentation. Hey, here's a document we need to put somewhere on a covenant for, you know, our test out. Versus, hey, we all need to align on this. Like, you know, like, hey, this is what we're working towards, and we need to summarize this so it's easy to communicate to the rest of the world. But first, we all have to agree, you know. And because there's so many directions we can go. Is it incentivizing donations? Is it, you know, a donor-owned platform, donor-owned and governed platform? Like, we really just need one big meme that we want to push, and there's probably some good options.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, it just sounds like, okay, we need pushing.
Yeah.
Summarizing and pushing, and I can also, help with that.
Yeah, get people to look at it and be like, this is it. Like, look at this.
Yeah. I'll try to like summarize it into even smaller things and come up with a couple of alternative ideas, and then.
I mean, I don't know if you need to create as much work as that for yourself, but just like really be like, these are the mission, vision, values. Like, what do you think? Am I wrong?
Yeah. And we can probably break up short-term mission and long-term mission. Because like that's the big thing. We just all need to align on like the short-term mission.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. But make sure that's a caveat before we get too far ahead of writing a bunch of content that we'll just have to change when we later decide that actually we're going to funnel all of our economic power into supporting charities, or I don't know. Like, yeah, we just need that framing.
Okay. Well, that'll make some good memes, huh? Meme or MBB. All right, meme the shit out of it.
Yeah, let's make this meme party. Let's make the meme party on Sunday like a meme competition party where we all try to have the best meme to represent Giveth's mission.
I like that.
Can you all come?
Will you come to my competition party? I love
the
it.
Meme Olympics?
Meme Olympics.
The Meme Olympics! I'm going to start advertising. But you know what? Is it not a good time, our meme party? Because our meme party is usually like pretty low turnout.
Yeah, the last two, there hasn't been many of us. Like
Sunday
maybe two or
is
three.
just like a hard day to commit for me personally.
Fair. Well, why don't Forrest, you're like the master who has the schedule of everyone, right? Or not?
Yeah, I don't know what individual availability is, but I think it's probably good to back it up to other calls, like maybe after the Dev 2 call on Wednesdays. Now that we moved that an hour earlier.
Yeah, that sounds great. That's perfect.
Dev 2 call.
It's Wednesday at 9 a.m. Costa Rica or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, that should be.
Then I think more of the team would be able to come.
Yeah, let's do it. So let's make it a thing.
Okay.
Let's make this Wednesday a special meme Olympics, competing to be the best one to write the the mission vision values in a perfect meme.
Do you guys think I should leave the Sunday time there and add this one as a weekly, or just change it, like move it from Sundays to Wednesdays?
I don't know if we need it to be weekly, at least just once though. I want to just like have one very lively meme party.
Yeah. Okay. Calendar invite after this call. Love it. To meme Giveth's mission, vision, values. Okay. So, and then I also outlined the steps here of what we can do now, and putting like mission, vision, values and stuff at the top under in the notes under the Give token launch content. Okay. So we talked about, as far as comms messaging, we talked about the airdrop. But I'm curious about the Taurus user help. There's this HackMD document linked here in the agenda. I can ping a link to it in the.
Yeah, that's what I wrote. It's in the GitHub. I updated the GitHub issue, so this is the first draft.
Okay, cool.
Updated documentation.
Amazing. So you need reviewers right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I tagged you guys a couple days ago in the issue just to have a gander at it.
Okay, perfect. And then what about comms messaging for Givebacks program? I believe we had talked about doing like an overview and a more technical one, and then like the thought pieces coming later. How are those pieces coming, and is support needed?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. So Lauren's doing the technical one about the airdrop, and I'm working on the how to give back to work, which is more of the general geared towards projects and makers. So the only thing we were lacking ideas for is just like the philosophical ones, like how are we, revolutionizing things like philanthropy and like really just like go into some different topics that are related to us, but maybe not necessarily like directly about the token itself.
Maybe this will come as a result of this mission, vision, values discussion.
Yeah, I think so. And plus, I think we have a lot of, I personally feel like that's already enough. That's already enough for now. We don't need more extra pieces. We haven't even written the airdrop piece. We don't even know what the params are for it yet.
Yeah.
Plus, I would love to, as like kind of just general goals for like the coming week, it'd be great if we could align around the mission, vision, values, and if we could finish a lot of this like wiki to docs migration and kind of have like at least most of it up there. Maybe we have like one more week to finish these like last closeout docs, and also like try to see if I can push Kai and Danny a little. Then we can have it all done. We can have it up, and then we have like nice brand spanking new docs. And then by then we're going to have gardens ready to test maybe. And then we'll be testing gardens. And then we'll have all the details for it. And we can finish the give back post, the airdrop post, and then we can make the thought pieces. And we can also work on the UI UX for the airdrop and making a video and all these pieces. Doesn't that sound like a good roadmap?
Sounds great.
Great.
Yeah, I think
Go ahead. Oh, yeah. Also, I wanted to bring up with you guys that like maybe we can do another push for the Solidity dev position. Like I've been working on scheduling interviews and stuff, but maybe we could do another like blast. I was gonna go into the Discord servers where I posted it before and see like how long it's been since, maybe it's hiding up in the chat, and maybe like refresh it a bit and post it again. Do another round of outreach around that.
Yeah, I can tweet again tomorrow. So what's the status? We have like maybe you scheduled some more interviews of like some potentially promising people, but we're still looking for like more applicants.
Yeah, I'm in the process of scheduling interviews with them, so they haven't been confirmed for the interview time yet. But I think there's like 3 right now that I'm actively communicating with that I'm trying to link to your
no one's like
somehow.
Yeah, there's no one that's like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. I can't believe how lucky we are that this person applied. That hasn't happened yet. You know? So like it's cool. We're gonna interview, and in the end we might just go with like, oh, I guess this person's good enough. You know, but that's not the I would love one more push and one more Hail Mary. In the end we have to hire someone like yesterday. So and it's been my bad, honestly, on not getting these interviews scheduled and reviewing the things. Thank you, Ashley, for pinging me and like pushing. I really want to apologize for the delays on this stuff. So, but at the same time, no one's really that exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what
No
about
worries.
the back-end developer position?
Yeah, I mean, we'll need to push that. I guess we can try to push them together too, but that's not that we Mateo's moving, and James, we need them to like weigh in on it and help us edit that doc.
Okay. Okay, so it's not
Yeah,
ready.
after the last Web2 meeting, James didn't seem like he was really into giving us feedback about the documentation, but maybe that will change soon.
Yeah, I had a good call with him, and I think things got cleaner. So hopefully it's all cool.
Yay. Okay, great. Cool. So let's blast more about Solidity Dev position. Anything else? Is there anything else on the agenda?
The only other thing I put in here is just, if we had the time and wanted to look through the GitHub planning board and just take a look at pending issues and if there's anything that's kind of hiding or someone needs more support on.
Sure. I did a bunch of board cleanup the other day.
Yeah, I was looking at all my stuff and moved it around.
Yeah, nice.
And the last point that I just added in was with the change maker. Maybe doing another one next week.
Yeah, I think
to
that's
publish
good.
next
Doing
week.
Another roundup post.
Yeah.
I tweeted about it again today because I figured it was due time. We had 2 more people submit their projects since the last roundup, but only 2. Maybe we could do also individual outreach, like we were talking about.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be cool if Kai tweeted about bridging digital communities? That's an easy one to write about.
Yeah, that would be super easy.
Right? So we got Kai on there who has a project, and I'm sure that there's other ones too.
Did Free the Food? They never did anything, huh?
No, but Devin's coming back on Monday, and I could push him in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we get like minimum 4, I think that's feasible.
Okay, I'm gonna ping Kai and I'll ask Devin as well, and then I don't know
on Twitter
yeah, just a tweet. I know Kai is on Twitter. I don't know about Devin, but if anybody else who just if all of us could just go on Giveth.io and do we still have that project outreach spreadsheet?
Yes.
Yep.
Do you know where it is? Do you have a link to it, Ashley?
You're looking for
Oh, I have it. I just
the project owner emails?
No, the outreach spreadsheet, because I'm just thinking we could coordinate. So if we just say everybody go on Giveth.io, see what projects there are and what people and then ping them. But then when you ping them, let's put it in the spreadsheet so that we don't bother people more than once.
Good idea.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the spreadsheet for the first time right now. I think for the first time in a long time. We got changemaker submissions. So then maybe we could add a changemaker outreach tab.
Yeah,
I
sure.
thought there was one. But
No, this
maybe not.
changemaker submissions.
Yeah, we could just add like a column under the submissions and note the date and our name of reaching out to them.
I think. Yeah, I mean, we could add it in the same, but I think it would get a little more confusing because this is like which ones have already been submitted.
Yeah.
And so then the other one would be like pure outreach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. I think that
Perfecto.
original one you're thinking about, Ashley, was a GitHub issue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
I
remember
remember.
being
I
a
think I
bunch
left a
of
comment on there because there was a bunch that weren't checked off. And I don't know if those people were outraged.
Okay, I made a new tab.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, and I linked this in the agenda so it's easy to find. Cool. Well, I think that is all for today. I don't think we have time to run through the planning board, but if anyone does have any GitHub issues that you're feeling challenged or blocked by, that you need some support, you know, you can always tag or maybe even post the link to it in the comms channel so that it's at the top of our mind. What's this one, Mitch?
That was the issue that I was just talking about. It has a couple of groups there for outreach.
What was that, Griff?
Sorry, no, Mitch can go first.
It's just there in the GitHub issue. There was a bunch of projects that were suggested for outreach, and we don't know if they were ever contacted or not.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is from end of April, so about a month ago. Anyway, that's it. Go ahead, Griff.
I just wanted to say that when I get to Costa Rica, I'd really love like a nice long hack session some evening. I don't know when that's possible, but just to like really hack on the development here. Just to hack on the development for the testnet plan for launch, and then start working on the other side of thoughts of launch. You know, like just really hack out these roadmaps, and not for like not saying that it's like the final one, but at least something we can present to everybody for advice process.
Yeah, totally. I'd love to. I will ping you about your schedule.
Okay, sweet.
Yay. Okay, I have another call that's starting now at 2, so I've got to drop, but I want to thank everybody for your collaboration today, and I'll just leave the room open in case you guys have anything else that you want to add.
No, I have to run. I can't wait to see most of you, except for Mitch.
Yay!
It's almost like a jab, Griff. Be nice.
I've been jabbing Mitch for like 5 years. It's just natural. So anyway, love you guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh,